Hey, guess who and guess what? Well, it's me, Robbie Susan Chandler, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who lives in Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. If you're ever in the area, I'd love for you to come over and join me for a class. We have a lot of fun, do a lot of different things. If you look over my shoulder, you can see my craft room over there where I hold my classes. Like I said, we have a lot of fun and love to have you join us. So that's the guess who, which is me. Now let's get to the guess what. Okay, here's the guess what. Look at this lovely card. We're going to do a couple of things to some designer series paper to turn it into this card. And we're going to be using the Kintsugi designer series paper, which is this paper right here. And I actually took this piece and turned it into this piece on top. So it was a lot of fun doing that. And let me show you, this paper. It has a lot of pretty pieces in it. So check it out. I think you'll like it. Here's another pack to show you some more of the designs in it. As you can tell, I've been using it quite a bit. Alright, so let's get to how we do this card. And let me move my little name out of the way. You know who I am now. So let's start with our card base. And it is Early Espresso. And it's 11 by 4 1/4, score at 5 1/2 right down the middle. So that's our card base. Now, this inside part, let's go ahead and do it. This was stamped with Early Espresso ink, and I cut a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla with the die from, where are they? From Texture Note dies. And I have those around here somewhere, but they come in several different sizes, and I think I used like the largest one on this one. And I think there's 7 or 8 sizes, and this is each one has a little bit different design around the edge, and this is called Textured Note Dies. I think you'll really like this set if you decide to buy it and try it out. Now the birthday is from this one called Layered Thoughts, and I use this big birthday here. I like it because it takes up a lot of space inside, and it says what you want it to say. So that's what we stamped the inside with. Here I stamped it several times, and I think it slipped over a little bit, but I didn't mind that because it kind of gave it a fuller look. Okay, so that's our inside. Now let's look at this outside piece. It is a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 of the paper I just showed you, the Kintsugi designer series paper, but you notice it's white, and we're going to change that. So I'm going to change it right here in front of you, and I'm probably going to fast speed this so you don't have to watch, but I'll hold each color up so you can see the color as I use them. But the first one I'm going to use is Calypso Coral, and I'll just name them for you right here for a second. Then I'm going to use Peach Pie, and then Darling Duckling. Next, Timid Tiger, and the last color I'm going to use is Pecan Pie. And then when I finish that, you're going to see me come in with some retired color we used to have, or maybe you have some copper in your stash, and I'm just going to put this copper coating over the whole piece to give it a little shine and shimmer. So let me get started with that, and like I said, I'm probably going to fast forward it, so I'm not going to do any talking while I'm doing this, but I will give you some hints right here at the beginning before I fast forward. When you're doing this, you want it pretty intense, and you want to scatter the dots randomly around. You don't want them all in the same place. Now this color, Calypso Coral, is not going to be one of our bolder colors, but if you work with it, you can get it a little bit bolder, but it's probably one of our softer orange. Okay, so this is the Calypso Coral. Okay, now that I've got all the colors on there, I want to kind of hold it so you can see a little bit of shine. I take a paper towel and I just kind of wipe it over it, because where the gold is, that ink's not going to soak in right there. And this will kind of wipe that extra off. See, there was a little bit of the copper on there. So isn't that pretty? Now, that's nice, but what are we going to do with it? I'm going to show you. We're going to cut with the die from Amber Dyes, and it's this one. So it's the Amber Autumn Dyes. We're also going to use this leaf and acorn. So let me show you what happens when we cut this. What I do, I just center it right in the middle of my paper and run it through, and miraculously, here it is. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So we went from this to this. Actually, we went from this white piece to this, and then to this. Okay, now that we've got this cut, let me show you what I did to it to make it really pop. Took a piece, this is a new foil we have called Earthen, E-A-R-T-H-E-N, Earthen Toned Metallic. And see, it's a really dark foil paper. And this piece is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I wanted it a little bit smaller than this piece, which was 4 by 5 1/4. So I took this piece and I ran it through the embossing folder. Of course I did. I love my embossing folders. I ran it through birchwood, and look at it now. Look at that. But wait till you see what it looks like when you put this piece behind it. Alright, here it is by itself, and look what happens when you put it on there. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the way it really makes it pop. So you just glue that down, which I have one right here I've done, and you're ready to pop it on the front of your card base. And I've already put my happy birthday in here, so let me pop this down real quick. You're actually going to see me glue something down for a change. I usually have all these glued ahead, but I wanted to actually cut that piece for you during the video. So just pop this down, and you notice it's a little bit curled, but when you put it down, if you'll hold it, give it a minute to kind of set, then it will uncurl, it will straighten itself out. Okay, so now that we've got this part done, let's talk about the acorn on the front. So you stamp it with, let me find it, with Amber Autumn. It's this one right here. And what I did, I stamped it in Versamark and embossed it with copper embossing powder. And here it is. Look, see the little shine on it? Of course I'm going to have a little shine. And then I just took this and I colored the caps with bronze. So you just want to, and the stem, I just kind of colored it in and hit the caps some to darken them up a little bit. It's another stem there. And then the bottom part of the acorn there, I colored with light pecan pie and just come in. I wanted it to be a little bit of contrast, so that's why I used the pecan pie instead of the bronze on the bottom part. So see, there's the acorn now. Now, you're going to ask, how did I do my leaf? You see my leaf here? It's got two colors in it. I start, and I like to go ahead and just kind of take my caps off so I can use them quickly. And I start with the orange and just kind of go down the center of the leaves, and then I come immediately back with, this is Dark Darling Duckling, and just kind of start coloring in there, and it will hopefully disperse that orange, which is actually Dark Timid Tiger. We'll pull that out so it doesn't look so much like a streak down the middle. To see that, see how it kind of blends in there? I'm going to do the same thing to this other leaf. It's a little streak, and then highlight some of the stems, and then come back with the Darling Duckling and just start coloring it in. And you need to work with the two colors pretty quickly before they dry, or you are going to have that streak down the middle. Okay, look at that. Isn't that cool looking? Now, one thing I did not like when I put this on my card front was all that, and this is very vanilla, I stamped on, but see all that edge? Really kind of didn't like that edge. So I went back to some of my colors and just randomly took some, like the pecan pie. I took it and kind of sponged around down here around the acorns to kind of, see how that kind of breaks the, see the difference here and here? It breaks that very vanilla. And then I took, well, here's Timid Tiger. I will bring it around the edges of the leaf. And it doesn't hurt to go over the leaf too. You can add a little bit to the leaf. And let's add a little, how about Calypso Coral? Give a little orange in there. There we go. So I think that's enough. So see the difference? I really like it better with the color on it. So now we just need to put this piece on our card front. I'm going to bend my leaves a little bit so they don't look quite so stark. And let's put a few dimensionals on the back of this. We want to pop this up so it's, since it's kind of a focal point, although the card front itself is so gorgeous. Okay. Now what I did when I put this on here, I tried to find a little corner I could slip this stem up into so it wasn't sticking out so much. Let's see, maybe I can do it right up in there like that. And then just stuck it down. There we go. Now I stamped on a piece of Very Vanilla this Celebrate saying, and this is a new set that's just come out. It's an online exclusive. It's called Banner Sayings, and I used this one, and this is our new packaging. Our stamps don't come like this anymore. They now come in these envelopes. So I stamped it, and this actually is a bundle with this punch called Triple Banner, and I used this one on the bottom. And when you stamp, always turn it upside down so you can see where to punch. I'm sorry, after you stamp, then punch. Always stamp first, then punch. Believe me, it's a lot easier. If you try to punch this little piece out and then stamp right on it, that's almost a losing battle. So stamp, then punch. And I like that punch because you get 3 different size little banner pieces, which sometimes you want just a little tiny saying on the front. And then I'm just going to stick this, I say, right here. Now I had a couple people that put it down here, different places, but I'm just going to stick with mine right up here. And there we go. I don't think I've left anything out. There's our card. Isn't that gorgeous? And it was so easy and fun to do. And it just changes that DSP totally. I had that piece left in my pack, and it's like I want to use this piece. I don't want it to go to waste. So this is what I came up with. So I hope you like my card here. Maybe you'll give it a try. Please like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. And if you need a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And if you'd like to be on a team, I'd love to be your team leader. So until next time, happy crafting.